What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have Tommy here who's been putting in some solid rounds with me as I prep up for my next fight. He has a fight coming too. We're getting really good rounds. He has a lot of experience. How long now? Something like you've been in Thailand for?
Right, for the past 1.5, almost 2 years, I've been living Thailand full time as a sponsored fighter, and I've had around 10 fights in the span of less than 12 months.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fighting and a lot of training, just living the lifestyle.
He's been landing what I'm going to call this hybrid kick knee. He calls it kind of like a knee kick, where I think it's a knee and then he lands it as a kick, or I think it's a kick and then he lands it as a knee. I've never really seen this before, or at least talked to somebody who can teach us. So today he's going to break this down for us. So before we get to our hybrid knee kick, I just want to take a moment and just let Tommy have the floor to talk about something special. Just tell him a bit about it.
Thank you, Gabe. So Jimmy, my good friend Jimmy and I are starting a new Muay Thai fitness studio called 8 Limbs Fitness. We're not a fight gym. Our aim is to help people live a healthier lifestyle and to inspire more people to get into the sport. The sport has changed my life, has changed Jimmy's life. I've reaped so much benefit from it, and we aim to provide people the same experience as it provided us, and overall just help people that are too intimidated to go to the traditional fight gym to come to us and get some solid training.
And that's like the point that I want to really focus in on, is it's not a traditional fight gym. That's really important because a lot of people don't want to go to those gyms. They don't want to be a punching bag, and changing lives. Because like you said, it's changed your life.
Absolutely.
I've been involved in it for so long that I kind of forget that my life could have gone very different without it. And it's always positive, whether it's for fitness. Do you think the mental side?
Yeah, also I think the biggest part is the mental side. As you know, after a few years in the sport, we all learn the basics. We know how to kick, we know how to punch, we know how to knee. But what I find the biggest difference between that makes a world champion versus any other normal fighter is really the mindset. You really have to be dedicated to the sport, have a lot of self-belief and confidence, and to be determined to achieve whatever your goal in the sport is.
Confidence, self-belief. That's I love that you guys are teaching that and helping people. So let's get to this hybrid knee. Generally, if I was facing off against somebody, if I was with Tommy, I'd be like, okay, at this range, he's going to kick me. And at this range, I'm worried about the knee. But kind of at this range here, I'm usually like, you know what? If he kicks the traditional way, he's kind of jammed, and if he throws the knee, it's a little long. This is sort of my safe zone, especially when I'm going against somebody who has this Muay Thai background. I'm like, perfect. I'm gonna just box the heck out of him, and he can't use either of his key weapons, but this guy keeps landing on me. So would you break down, let's first start with, are there any technical differences between the kick? Let's just go with the kick now. So we're at this range. What are you changing? Are you changing the angle? Are you changing your pivot? What's happening? Let's do a quick demo first. Yeah. Just even, okay, I'm here. I think it's so unpleasant because I'm kind of taking it up on this weird angle. Yeah. So
let's go with the left side a little bit.
So if I'm wrong, or if I'm mistaken, let me know, but it kind of looks like instead of coming around, you're kind of coming more almost upwards.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually this would be my favorite range between the kicking range and then between the traditional punching or clinching range. Yeah. And this is what I find a lot of people with the traditional kickboxing style aren't very comfortable with. And me as have a predominantly Muay Thai style, I find that during this range I can sort of, I can still land a high kick if I wanted to, because boom. Yeah. But now being a very flexible guy, I rarely throw a lot of head kicks in a fight. However, I discovered that for this range, instead of throwing a traditional kick or a traditional knee, the first part of the technique is mostly similar as a regular kick. Okay. And then instead of turning over, as you extend, here you see my shin is really getting close to your ribs. So instead of fully twist or pivot or turn over for a normal kick, I just sort of kick out with my shin, just boom. So ideally I want to land with the upper part of my shin, as opposed to the lower part of my shin that I teach most people when they throw the kick.
And when you did that last one, you did something really interesting. You kind of kept your foot planted and stayed fairly low into the last second, and then if you notice,
explode.
Then he explodes up. If you wanted to train this, is this like something that the pad holders will do for you? Will they hold the pads like that?
No. Especially here in North America, a lot of pad holders aren't. I've seen some even the Thai trainer nowadays resort to traditional, just 1, 2, and normal, very distinct ranges like the kicking range and the knee range. So what I find to practice this technique, the ideal way would be on a heavy bag or even just a punching bag like this. So where I would just find my distance with a few teeps, and then really find my distance, maybe land a few long knees, find where my range is with a few kicks, and then find the middle, and then just boom, boom. I'm really trying to aim the bag with the upper part of my shin, as opposed to the lower part. Okay, so something you can train solo on the bag. Now, upper shin, that's the first thing I'm taking away. Second thing, the angle is more upwards. There's no turnover, and hold the lift of the body until the last second to really at the end project through. Now, that in itself is kind of frustrating for a kickboxer. But then the next thing is he has a knee, which is so darn similar. And a lot of times I'm like, okay, I'm going to catch on to this round kick, and I'm going to start getting my elbow across to block it. But then all of a sudden it starts hitting me in the body with the knee instead. I'm like, but I was just getting hit with a kick, and now he's landing a knee. So same range. Let's show him that sort of range where you're, okay, so there's the round kick. Now he's landing the knee. Good, it's a round kick, and then the knee's coming straight in. And I can play around with a different range. Distance. Really, I really make my decision at the later part of the technique. Whereas I'm still reading my opponent as I'm throwing this knee, the kicking knee. If the opponent, let's say you're rushing towards me, as I'm executing. Oh, sorry about that. That was a little too hard for demonstration. But as my opponent's coming in, so as I'm throwing the technique, and then I feel like my opponent really is trying to rush in, and then I would turn that into a knee.
And then if they stop.
Yes. Whereas, if my opponent reads the knee is coming, and then decides to back out instead, then I can turn that into a kick. And then if my opponent sort of freezes somewhere in the kicking and the kneeing range, then I would just boom, throw the.
I really like this point that he's making, guys. This is important to listen to, because I'm going to tell you something that people have told me time and time again. They say, Gabriel, should I pre-plan my techniques? So they're like, oh, I'm out here. Should I not just pre-plan one technique? They're like, should I pre-plan my combo? So that means like I'm out here and I'm like, okay, I'm going to throw cross, hook, round kick, and I commit to it before I've based anything off his reactions. What Tommy's saying is he's waiting to the last possible second, mid-technique, to change and to adjust according to what I'm doing. That's high-level stuff. Pre-planning is not high-level stuff. So try to take a page out of his book and see if you do that.
Just to add to that, I find if you pre-plan a technique or a combo, I find a lot of times you're subconsciously really telegraphing what you're trying to throw, and it makes it a lot easier for the opponent to read what you're going to do, and then there's a lower probability that you'll land the specific strike. So something my trainer Arthur Nowashiki really told me is as you throw a technique, you really you're really paying attention to as you're throwing the technique, and after you throw a specific technique, you really want to read the opponent to see how they react to it, and then you make the decision on the fly. Okay, what you're going to do next, and decides what range they are. You really have to observe what range they are after a specific technique lands on them to see the effect of it, and then you pick the right tools for that specific range.
That's cool stuff. Let's go back to this kick knee one more time. I want to see, let's do the round kick a couple times, and then we'll go right into the knee, just so you guys can see how close these two things are. So he finds his range. That's a long kick. He starts getting a little tighter. Like for me, I'm there. Okay, there's the round kick. There's the knee. They're so similar.
And then here's almost a no man's land, and then where I get boom.
It's so hard to read what's coming, and he's being nice right now because you're not firing in the kneecap, and that's the really scary part for me when I'm right about here. I'm like, okay, I've got him, and I don't know, is it here or is it here? And it's a tiny adjustment, but it's enough that it's really throwing me off. So thanks so much, Tommy, for
thank you for having
coming
us.
on the channel and sharing with us, because this is really cool stuff. We don't get to go or talk with too many people on the channel who've been in Thailand and fought like 10 times in 12 months. Awesome stuff. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'm going to get Tommy back on for many more, so you'll see him around here again soon. As always, guys, train hard.